Senate Democrats secured enough votes Monday to filibuster the nomination of Judge Neil Gorsuch to the U.S. Supreme Court, increasing the likelihood that Republicans will enact a rules change to ensure his confirmation and pushing the battle into a climactic final act. 4 more Senate Democrats confirmed that they will support a filibuster of Gorsuch's nomination, giving the minority party the requisite 41 votes to maintain their procedural roadblock under pressure from Republicans. The announcements came a little before members of the Senate Judiciary Committee voted to move the High Court nomination to the full Senate for consideration, likely to begin Tuesday morning. While the outcome of the panel's vote was not in doubt, Republicans hold a majority of seats on the committee, and Gorsuch was approved on a party-line vote. The testy hearing foreshadowed what is likely to be a combative debate over the nomination on the Senate floor this week. Senators Dianne Feinstein, Democrat California, Patrick J. Leahy, Democrat Vermont, Christopher Ray Coons, D. Dell, and Mark R. Warner, Democrat Virginia, indicated they would vote no to end debate on the Senate floor and would oppose Gorsuch in a final vote. Leahy, the Senate's longest-serving member, criticized Gorsuch's answers during his marathon confirmation hearing as excruciatingly evasive. "I cannot recall a nominee refusing to answer such basic questions about the principles underlying our Constitution and about how he interprets those principles," Leahy said. "These are fundamental questions that we should ask every nominee seeking a lifetime appointment to our highest court." Leahy said that a GOP move to end the Supreme Court filibuster would damage the Senate, but argued that he must vote his conscience, even if that pushed Republicans toward the rules change. "I cannot vote solely to protect an institution when the rights of hard-working Americans are at risk," he said, "because I fear that the Senate I would be defending no longer exists." Senate Republican Whip John Cornyn, Tex, passed blame back to the Democrats, noting times when they had filibustered President George W. Bush as judicial nominees. "I disagree with those who somehow say this is the end of the Senate as we know it," he said. "This is a restoration of the status quo ante before our Democratic colleagues directed this artificial 60-vote requirement." Senator Lindsey Graham, RSC, expressed concerns about where we are headed. "We are headed to a world where you don't need one person from the other side to pick a judge," Graham said. "And what does that mean? That means the judges are going to be more ideological, not less. It means that every Senate seat is going to be a referendum on the Supreme Court. The damage done to the Senate is going to be real." Meanwhile, Senator Michael F. Bennet, Democrat Colorado, became the 4th Senate Democrat to oppose the filibuster, though he did not clarify whether he supports or opposes Gorsuch as a Supreme Court justice. "Changing the Senate rules now will only further politicize the Supreme Court and prevent the Senate from blocking more extreme judges in the future," he said in a statement. Bennet is the only Senate Democrat not up for re-election in 2018 to oppose the filibuster. Republicans have vowed to confirm Gorsuch by Friday, when a 2-week recess is set to begin, meaning the process will consume the Senate's floor schedule this week. Gorsuch's nomination to replace the late Justice Antonin Scalia, whose originalist philosophy of constitutional interpretation he shares, would be unlikely to tip the ideological balance of the Supreme Court. And Gorsuch's 3 days of confirmation hearings last month never captured the national attention afforded to previous nominees. But the final round of debate on his nomination could be bitter. And although the Republican-controlled Senate is likely to confirm him, that will happen only if the chamber's rules are changed. Eliminating the filibuster for Supreme Court nominees would extend what is known as the nuclear option, a change that Democrats made in 2013 that punished Republicans for years of attempts to block President Barack Obama's nominees by ending filibusters for all executive branch appointments and lower court picks.